Hi everybody, this is ThatKidDouglas here, and I just want to forewarn you that there is no intro, no witty banter, no music or flashy visual effects or anything. I just want to make a stripped down, non-edited video. I wasn't even planning on making a video tonight, but seeing what's been going on in the video game industry, I always pride myself on keeping you guys in the know and keeping you guys informed of what's going on, and I feel like this is an important story to talk about. Satoru Iwata, who's the president and CEO of Nintendo Company Limited, died tonight at the age of 55. I believe due to some form of colon cancer. I'm pretty sure you guys know what's going on, so I don't really need to go into great detail or anything. But I wanted to really take this opportunity to talk about how gamers aren't dead, and the gaming community is a very toxic place to be sometimes. It's filled with some of the most vile, hateful people imaginable, and you have social justice warriors who've been trying to warp gaming and change the image of gaming into what they see fit. And they don't even like gaming. There's fanboy wars. We have people arguing over what piece of plastic is better than another piece of plastic. We have the Gamergates, and we have corrupt journalists and all that other stuff. We've had the James journalism saying that gamers are dead and that we don't need to serve gamers anymore. We've been through so much as a community over the past year or so. So to see something like this is something that I personally was not really accepting. When I first saw this on IGN, I thought, I'll be honest, I thought it was some kind of joke. I thought it was, just somebody pulling a really, really cruel hoax on us. But, it actually is true. And 55 is a really kind of a young age to die. I mean, my grandmother died when she was like at least 65, and it kind of really makes you look at life and value the people, that in your life and who you love a little bit more. My grandfather, and I normally don't talk about my personal life here on YouTube, but I feel it's important to kind of briefly mention this. My grandfather, who's well into his 60s, I've kind of accepted the fact that he probably won't be here too much longer either, and I've already mentally prepared myself for the day that he'll just pass away. They'll no longer be here, and that's a tough thing to kind of go through. And I don't want to ever really have to think about it, but it's important to kind of prepare yourself for stuff like this because you never know um, when somebody you love and somebody you care about could just be kaput, could just die, because they can be gone at any moment. Life is short. That's the important thing to know, is that life is short. So really value it for as long as you can, and value the people that you love a little bit more. I think this whole situation is going to make me value the people that I love even more, and hug my family a little tighter, and value my friends a lot more, even more so than I am, doing right now. So yeah, I mean, and over the years, because I first started playing video games back in 1999, and and I've heard people say, oh, why do you play video games? You're never gonna get anywhere with that. Why aren't you doing something more productive? Oh, that's just kid stuff. And I've heard, those ignorant media washouts, and I've heard the Jonathan McIntoshes and Anita Sarkeesians of the world, say that gamers are a bunch of vile, misogynistic mongoloids that hate women and that, are anti everything and are trying to keep people down, and they're just a bunch of fat neck bearded virgins that, live in their mother's basements and that just, eat Doritos and Mountain Dew all day long, and that, gamers are real people. Seeing the way that the gaming community is banded together and, put their biases aside for once and, come together for something that is an immense tragedy. This just proves that, in my opinion, gamers are real. Gamers are real people. They're passionate about a hobby that they love, and I truly think that gaming has the most passionate fan base out of any other entertainment medium. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a gamer and I do a video game related show, but I truly mean that gamers are passionate about what they love. Because I can attribute games as getting me through some hard times and dark times, and I've had on a whole range of experience. I've been happy playing games and sad or depressed or whatever. Games have helped me get through some of the darker periods in my life, and I'm pretty sure they've done so for a lot of other people. And you know, for every corrupt journalistic asshole that said that gamers were dead and gamers are over, no, gamers are real. Gamers are real people, and I hope you feel really, really horrible now for saying that. I hope that you can honestly live with yourselves, seeing what you've said out your audience. Given now that a man has died, and man died doing what he loved, and that was, games. He was really, Satoru Iwata was really more of a gamer than an executive. He was a gamer first and an executive second, and I feel like that's very important, especially when you're running a video game, company, because you have all these MBA guys in suits who think they know everything about the game industry when they really know nothing about it. But now, granted, me and many other people have been critical about some of the decisions Nintendo has made, but I can't argue that the man hasn't made an impact in the gaming industry. He has. He was responsible for the Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo DS and the Wii. And sure, maybe he might have stumbled with the Wii U, but he for the most part he's done great work. He was the president of HAL Laboratory and spearheaded titles such as Kirby and Super Smash Brothers. So he's done a lot for the gaming industry, and the fact that he died so young, and I think we knew that he had an illness, but I thought it was kind of minor and it wasn't life threatening. Nobody knew, I think, how serious it was, and I didn't know there are people out there that are probably celebrating the fact that he's dead because they think that Nintendo will go back to being a core company instead of a kiddie company because they've gotten that reputation for being a kiddie company. And I know there's going to be people that are going to use this, people such as Black Bond, that are going to use this to further their agenda of, why Nintendo should do better and why Nintendo should change all this stuff. And while I agree that Nintendo has made some questionable decisions, and I do agree that they do need to get better in some respects, honestly, for anybody, and I'm talking to Anita Sarkeesian and Jonathan McIntosh and Black Bond and all these dumbass console fanboys, and just basically anybody that's going to use this as a way to further their own agenda. Don't. If you do, you're pieces of garbage that have absolutely no soul whatsoever, no heart whatsoever. I implore you, really, I implore you for once, to put your biases aside, whatever they are. If you're a fanboy, that's fine. That's your prerogative. You do what you want. But I implore you, for once, to put your biases aside and actually show some respect. You know, if you want to say, if you're gonna say Nintendo sucks or blah blah blah, or I'm happy he's dead, now is really not the time for that. Now is really not the time for that. Or you're gonna say that, oh, finally, now we can get some new leadership in here. Now is not the time for that. If you're going to do that to further your agenda of what you think Nintendo should be, or what you think gaming should be, then I screw you, seriously. You can go stick it where the sun don't shine. I don't care, but please, for once, just put your biases aside and just show a little respect. A man has just died, for God's sakes, all right? So I figured, just please. But you know what? I think I know that's not going to be enough to stop some of these people. I know they're going to continue with their agendas regardless, and honestly, it's whatever. And for anybody that's going to leave comments, how Nintendo sucks or Nintendo's kitty or oh, I'm glad that he's dead now, now Nintendo won't be a kitty company anymore. If you're gonna leave comments like that, I'm just going to delete them and block you. And I normally don't say stuff like that because I'm normally against censorship, and I like to have everybody have an opinion because that's important for how the world functions. But now the gaming community is already a cesspool of negativity. I don't think we need to add on to that. Just saying. Um, you know. But my condolences go out to his family and to Nintendo and anybody that worked with this man. He will sorely be missed, and it's truly unfortunate that he had to die this young, but I'm proud more than anything of the gaming community and the fact that we've banded together. We've kind of put our biases aside and we've stopped the infighting, at least for now, and banded together and really celebrated, or I shouldn't really say celebrated, but kind of mourned this tragic loss. It sucks and it's really depressing. But I think the thing that you should take out of this is the fact that value the people in your life, and value the people you love. Hug them a little tighter. Tell them that you love them. I think that's what I'm gonna do after this, is tell the people that I love that I truly love them. Because you never know when they're gonna be gone. They could be here today and gone tomorrow. I think that's kind of an important thing to know. And for people that are gonna say, "Oh, who's gonna be the next president of Nintendo?" Um, I'd say really now is not the time for that. Honestly, I think we should be focusing on this tragedy, as horrible as it is, rather than who's going to be the next president of Nintendo. I think we can kind of figure out and sort out that stuff later. Now is really, really not the time for that. And I had a digital Joyride video planned, which was a sequel to my earlier video called Nintendo versus the Internet. And while that's still coming, I still have a lot to talk about in that video. That's going to have to be pushed back a little bit because now is really not the time to really talk about it. I talk about it. Um, you know, I'm gonna do it when I have a renewed perspective and when this whole thing kind of dies down. But right now is really not the time to really harbor my critical feelings of Nintendo because it would just make me seem like a heartless bastard. And honestly, I want to show a little respect because I think as a gamer, I think Satoru Iwata deserves that much. So yeah, but that's all I gotta say. Yeah, video's over. Stay frosty and keep it weird.